Very good.
Okay, I'd like to call to order Western Lane Fire Ambulance Authority, Pleasant Valley Fire and Rescue, and Western Lane Ambulance District joint board meeting. You rise and join me. Actually, John Murphy, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Holly, can you do roll call, please?
All right, Western Lane Ambulance and WLFEA directors. Director Murphy,
Here.
Director Russell,
Here.
Director Webb,
Here.
Director Holbrook,
Here.
and Director Buss.
Here.
SVFR and WLFEA directors, Director Burns, Director Polisi,
Here.
Director Heppel,
Present.
Director Spade,
Here.
and Director Mandola.
Here.
Director Burns did call earlier, and he's not feeling well, so he's not gonna be with us tonight. Okay, do we have anybody for public comments?
No, we do not.
Okay. Now it's a sad but happy, I guess, event. We're going to be saying goodbye to our director, John Murphy, who has been with us for 4 years as director. How many years? Budget committee? Many years. Yeah. I don't remember. So he's been a great source of information for me. Appreciate all the help that you've done for us, John, over the years, and helped us keep the meetings going, and giving your insight at all times. Very much appreciated. We have a plaque for you and a card. Thank you. Where is it? Right there. The card is signed by. There it is. There it is. Right. Thank you. So enjoy your retirement.
We're good.
And that's a lot.
When told Mike I was gonna sign in when I'm out of town at a baseball game on the Zoom, just to wave at me and hold the beer.
Anybody else like to say anything about John leaving us?
Actually, Mayor, on behalf of myself and, the Western Lane Ambulance family, the dedication in which you did over the last few years, we definitely always, all of us appreciate the time that you did and help us get us to the point where we are. And we very much so appreciate it. We're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
I always look forward to the opportunity of sitting next to you. I learned so much from you. And I remember coming to the first board budget meeting and sitting next to you, and it's just like I knew who I was going to sit next to every time you were in a meeting.
Well, thanks.
Because I learned so much.
But due to you, I gotta go in my spare time now, pick up bottles to pay for quilting you do for my wife.
Personally, I totally appreciate your straightforwardness and the way you run meetings when things aren't running quite so smoothly. So
Yeah.
you've been a big help for the district. So much appreciated.
And I guess I feel a little slighted because I've loved and adored you for most of my life, but I'm gonna miss not being here with you.
It's been great to meet you over the past year, I guess, and it's been a wonderful example. So, thank you.
And I'd like to say something from across the table. It's been a pleasure working with John, and you've added a lot to my knowledge of the whole process. And I thank you very much.
And I'd like to say something too. Oh, go ahead, Lori.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Jim.
I first met John when I was on the budget committee and he taught me a lot. And I treasure that to this day. Thanks, John.
Go ahead.
And I've had a wonderful time being on the board with you. And I thought it was pretty crazy that we were both out of town and we both ended up at the same airport. And
Yeah, in an airport, somebody, lady tapping me on the shoulder. all over you.
I'll catch up with you in
Yeah.
other circles.
I'm not gonna be left out. It's been great to meet you, John. I work with you here and really appreciate everything you've done for the city.
Please don't be a stranger. Please don't be a stranger.
You get something controversial, I'll be sitting out there yelling.
Working on public comment again.
Get 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you, John. Now that you're leading us, we have an opening.
Here,
And I'll turn it over to Cindy.
Well, this time I would like to take the president's position and appoint Rick Yancey to replace John Murphy as of tonight. So I'd like to swear him in.
Rick?
Oh, no.
He's back.
Pass me the mic. So you've been appointed to represent the community served by West District. Your behaviors, decisions, and actions directly affect the image work of the ambulance district and other board members. Its personnel and the level of service the district provides and citizens we serve. I just want to make a point that this has happened once before, the record, that he was appointed into the board. The last time he came on the board, and then he was actually elected and went on to serve, so maybe we can continue that. So, first, right hand, repeat after me. I
Rick Yancey,
do solemnly affirm that I will uphold the vision, mission, values, and policies adopted by the Western Wayne Ambulance District.
solemnly affirm that I will uphold vision, values, and policies adopted by Western Wayne Ambulance District.
I will act for the good of the communities that which I serve.
I will act for the good of the communities of which I serve.
I will endeavor for the preservation of life and property.
I will endeavor for the preservation of life and property.
I will strive for excellence while I faithfully, honestly, and ethically perform the duties of director with Western Wayne Ambulance District.
I will strive for excellence while I faithfully, honestly, and ethically perform the duties of director of Western Wayne Ambulance District.
You are now duly affirmed as a director for Western Wayne Ambulance District. Thank you.
May we say time?
You want to say anything, Rick, or you're just happy to be here?
Just really big shoes to fill. Want John to enjoy his retirement.
Okay, now we have another swear in, our newest lieutenant, Tom Kozlowski. Tom, could you join me up front here? We had a very competitive testing process this last month. A lot of candidates. And Tom was the obvious top candidate, so I'm very pleased to welcome him to the meeting. I was, but then you gotta read it back. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Thomas Kozlowski,
Do solemnly swear to do my duty as lieutenant for Western Lane Fire and EMS Authority to the best of my ability.
Do solemnly swear to do my duties as lieutenant for Western Lane Fire and EMS Authority to the best of my ability.
To serve my commanding officers with respect and loyalty.
To serve my commanding officers with respect and loyalty.
To serve the citizens of our community with compassion, courage, and integrity.
To serve the citizens of our community with compassion, courage, and integrity.
To represent my fire department and community with honor and dignity, both on and off duty.
To represent my fire department and community with honor and dignity, both on and off.
And to uphold the laws and constitutions of the United States of America, the state of Oregon, and the communities we protect.
To uphold the laws of the constitutions of the United States of America, the state of Oregon, and the communities we protect.
So help me God.
Said all the God.
It's okay if you stab and there's some paramedic here.
They're leading control.
Okay, the consent agenda consists of the meeting minutes of the regular meeting on October 27th. Staff reports from chief, deputy chief, training chief, and office manager, and any correspondence. Is there anything anybody would like to pull out of the consent agenda? Hearing none, consent agenda is adopted. And now we'll go on to review of our call line.
Thanks, Chief. So far, year to date for calendar, the fiscal year, we're 41 calls total behind, or 38 calls total behind EMS and 25 for fire. Totaling actually 152 behind year to date for fiscal year and 67. And I think it's anticipated the call volume would be a little bit more relaxed as we kind of came out of COVID. But financially, we're still kind of staying in line with what we projected, so that's the good news on that we're not seeing a loss of our transports. Any questions on the call line?
In a dip like that, I mean, that's 1%, so it's hard to say it's significant. But I think maybe we thought it out for a while. Then it'll probably start going back up again. Thanks, Matt. Our monthly financials. Yeah. You're muted.
Oh, there we go. Good evening, everyone. So we're 5 months into the fiscal year, so expenses should be tracking around 42%. Have a couple things to go over. On Sayusla Valley, the fire operation expenses, they look good. The fire administration expenses are a little high since some vendors have not changed over to billing WLFEA yet. They're still billing Sayusla Valley. And that's kind of the same situation with Western Lane Ambulance. We've got some additional expenses in the administrative category. At the end of the year, that'll even out and we'll make transfers if we need to, but I just wanted to point that out. Also on Sayusla Valley, there were 2 budgeted transfers to go into the capital reserves. This fiscal year, I usually wait until we get the tax revenue to do that. So I'm looking at making those transfers this month. I think 100,000 was going into one account and 500,000 is going into the other capital reserve account. And Western Lane Ambulance does not have any budgeted transfers this year. But as we get into a little bit more of the agenda tonight, there is one item that we would be possibly taking money out of the capital reserves. And so if that happens next year, we will want to budget to replace that. On the authority, at the top of the budget versus actual report, under transfers, they're a little unevenly distributed. I noticed that as I was looking closely at the reports. So there's an error in my distribution of those. You can see administration is really high, but fire and EMS is really low. I'll make those corrections this month and you'll see that those corrections next month on the financials. That's all I have. Is there anybody who has any questions?
Thanks, Dina.
You're welcome.
We have no old business, new business, purchase of a type 1 ambulance. Okay.
Well, you guys are fuzzy.
What's that, Jim?
You guys are really fuzzy on that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if the lens needs to be cleaned or something, but
Yeah, Jim,
And
we'll get
it
that
may-
fixed.
not me.
No. We'll get that fixed, Jim.
No problem. I'm just closing one eye.
So there's an agenda bill for Western Lane Ambulance, and we were told a few months ago that if we're gonna get a buy a type 1 medic unit, we need to get on board and do it now, or the lead time would be anywhere between 12 to 18 months. We have good news, bad news. The good news is that it looks like the medic unit will be done in March, April time. That's the good news. Bad news is we have to do some funding appropriations. So the agenda item explains that and breaks it down. So the request is $310,000 to come out of the capital reserve fund and move it into the capital outlay so we can make the purchase as well as capital purchases that go along with the ambulance, which we then CMAC, the pediatric and adult imagers that we use for innovation and activating finders. Happy to answer any other questions to the agenda.
Pulling it out of the capital reserve fund, how are we gonna replenish the capital reserve fund going forward? Are we gonna budget next year money's spent?
Yeah,
Or the-
that would be the plan. Yeah, it's on our capital plan for next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 310,000, it's been a while since we bought an ambulance. And
It's gone.
That's a chunk of change.
It's gone up a lot.
Well, the ambulance itself, the type 1, our heavier ambulances is 242 this last bit. Before it was like around 180, which was our transfer vehicles. Our transfer vehicle that we just purchased was 180, which was about 40,000 more than the previous time we purchased.
Wow. I make a motion to approve resolution transferring funds from capital fund to the general fund to appropriate the ambulance. As requested.
I would second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next action item is for the entire group, WLFEA. The state is offering a grant program where you can hire, it's the state of Oregon, you can hire up to 2 individuals, can be fire suppression or fire prevention. The grant is designed for small to medium-sized agency. So we are considered a medium-sized agency. So we need permission to apply for the grant. It's supposed to be awarded fairly quickly if it does get awarded. There's only about 30 grants available, or 30 agencies that are gonna be awarded the grants. There's not a lot of money, but we won't get it unless we apply. So we figure we go ahead and apply for 2 positions and then split them between prevention and fire suppression. So I need a motion from.
Just a discussion that the fund says to support up to 2 firefighters and 2 fire prevention personnel. That means 4.
It's 2, it's only 2, but they're 50-50, suppression and prevention. So there's only 2 people.
Oh, okay.
If it does say that, it's only 2 people. The grant's only for 2 people per agency. So motion,
Police makes a motion to go forward with their application for the grant.
their second,
I second.
thanks, yeah. Any discussion on the grants? It does this, they did it last year, they're doing it again this year, really depending on funds available. They give you the entire, it's a 3-year grant, they give you the entirety of the grant right up front, and then you have to make it last for 3 years. But, and the match is 10% the first agency match is 10% the first year, 25% the second year, and 50% the third year. Okay, any other questions?
Chief, who seconded the motion?
Director Holbrook.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now we have opportunity for directors to comment. Any directors like to comment?
I'd like to say-
On items not subject to this meeting, correct?
Say again, what was your question?
To comment on items not on the agenda, correct?
Correct.
I do have something I'd like to discuss.
Sure, go ahead.
Folks, as the agency is coming together beautifully, and the hard work that staff from top to bottom, to left to right have been doing, call volumes have been picking up. People have been asked to do above and beyond, and they've been doing it wonderfully. I've never seen such a consolidation of operational services go so smoothly. And I want to just say that from the chief to the deputy chiefs to training to everyone, you're doing a fabulous job. But there was one thing that I want to talk about. And that is, I would like to see command staff present to the board a way to get voluntarily, it's not mandatory, but voluntarily, at least twice a year, we bring in a counselor to talk to all members of the organization, from administration to operations, everyone. Talk about PTSD and open it up, and let's start helping our people continue to do the positive work that they're doing. It's a huge undertaking for our staff. And I've been through 3 merges, and I wish that we would have had that kind of support, but we didn't. So I'm just bringing it to the forefront, and I'd like to see staff present to the board a plan of action to get this up and running. And if any of my fellow directors disagree with me, I fully understand it. But let's look out for our people, because we look out for them, we know the community is safe.
No, that's a good point, Jim. And actually, we have started that. We've talked to our EAP provider about bringing in a counselor, what counseling resources are available. But yeah, we are going in that direction. Now we're discussing things. Do we make it mandatory? Everybody has to talk to a counselor, at least say hello. So we're working through those issues, but I think that's a good point. It is a good point. Suicide rates are really high in the fire service. So.
Yeah, and Mike, you know what the competitive market is out there. So retention for our people is real important.
Yes.
And anything we can do to make it not a revolving door would be greatly appreciated.
I agree. Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
I'd like to say something, Chief, a couple things. I should have said this earlier, talking about the training. The training schedule didn't show a burn to learn on the 17th, but it's listed in the listing. Is there a burn to learn schedule on the 17th?
Yes.
What time is that?
The burn will probably start around 9. There's a lot of prep that goes into prior. I have the burn plan on my desk, and I was reviewing it prior to the board meeting, but I believe truly seeing the events of actually the 8 different burn stations, we can start around 9 or 10.
Where's the location?
I don't have the address. It's right across the street from previous board director Larry Farnsworth business.
Oh, okay.
See that storage.
Yeah, okay. Let's see the smoke, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The parking is limited though, so we'll have a staging area at the beginning for the first out apparatus, and then we may, if you're interested in that, I think maybe the best thing to do, get a hold of me, and I can maybe find a different place for parking as we look at this a little bit more closer prior to the start of the burn.
Okay, great. And one other thing, I came out to the Toys for Tots this weekend here. It was phenomenal. I could not believe all the toys that they had. It was, I don't know if any of you guys came out, gals saw it. it was unbelievable and I want to thank all the firefighters and everybody else that this organization has supported that because it was really great. And one of the things I talked to one of the Marines and he was from San Diego and I said, well, you know, you up here for how did you get here? He said, well, the Marine Corps flew me up here to be here to do this. And there were 5
Wow.
of them. Supposed to be more of it, but I thought that was phenomenal. And what I didn't know was that fact, but also it seems to me that next year we need to lean forward on PR of this event, what the Corps is doing for the community and how much effort they go through to do that and support us here because that was phenomenal. And that should be a lead story in the newspaper, I would have thought, with the support we get in this little town on the Oregon coast from all the way down to Southern California. It's phenomenal. And if you guys didn't get to see it next year, come out and just see what's all the, I couldn't believe all the toys. It was absolutely amazing.
The whole bay was full, plus that, yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Any other comments? Lauren?
November 17th, I came in through my turnout bag in the back of the engine. Rob, I just want to thank you and your crew for showing me around, going on calls. You guys are kind, courteous. You handled the event well. The outcome was good with the lady who was burning, and I just am honored to be your guys' director, and I really appreciate what you guys do. So, thank you. I'm going to come again, so. You guys weren't here.
I heard.
Yeah, but they did a great job.
Yeah, Director Apple did a ride along. Any director, you're welcome to come right along with the crews. Have fun.
It was a pretty busy morning.
I want to do one.
Get in the truck, we're gonna go
I want to do a couple, actually.
Yeah. If you're here for dinner, you can have prime rib. And all that.
What is that?
The story is B shift is the best shift for cooking. B shift is on today, so maybe talk to C shift later.
Any other directors?
I just want to wish all the crews Merry Christmas. And it's great to see so many Western Lane people here. I miss seeing you guys at our meetings. When we met over at the quarters, you guys were always there. And that's been one of the lonely things about being here, it was not seeing you guys. And congratulations, Tom. I was honored to be on the part of the interview board for that. And we have a lot of wonderful people working for us. And Tom just stood out that day for us, but I'm just grateful for everybody that works. And like Lori, I'm proud to say that I'm a director of you guys. Is that Ben over there? He looks just like Ben, doesn't he?
No, but we'll tell Ben.
All of a sudden, it's just like, oh my God.
Sorry.
Any other comments? Our next regular joint board meeting is January 26th, 2023 at 6 p.m. And we'll take a motion to adjourn. You don't want to. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas.